Yes, people, welcome back to Real Ball Talk. Hope everyone is blessed. Feels like it's been a while. We were off last week, but hope everyone is good. Let me just add my man Jeff in. What you saying, Jeff?
All good, bro. All good. How are you, man?
Oh, good, man. Literally just started the stream. Just saying, yeah, it feels like it's been a minute since we've been on, man. Feels like it's been a
Yeah,
minute.
man. It has. Feels like it's been a couple of weeks or something.
Yeah. Just under a couple weeks still. Just under a couple weeks. But yeah, man, obviously people make sure you smash the likes. Jalil and Rash will be on later on. I gotta jump off a bit early today, but yeah, they'll be on shortly. Smash the likes, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, etc. You know what to do. Subscribe to RBT. But yeah, man, Jeff, let's get into it. You know what? I thought, I'm sure Rash and Jalil would like to talk about the Arsenal when we get into there. So we can leave that one for them.
Yeah,
But I thought, let's
sure.
start with Man City. Probably just the title race in general. Man City slapping Newcastle 5-0 yesterday, bouncing back from obviously that madness that happened against Madrid, where they went out in the last few minutes when it looked like they were in the final. So yeah, Man
Mm.
City winning 5-0. They went 3 points clear because Liverpool dropped 2 points to Spurs at the weekend. And Fabrizio Romano has just literally just tweeted that Haaland to City is done deal,
Yeah.
and that it might be close to 60 million euros or 75 million. So 60 million euros rounds out to about 53, 54 million pounds for Haaland, who's 21 years old. So yeah, just what do you make of that Haaland story initially, bro? It's all done.
I guess it's no real surprise now because we've been hearing it for like maybe a month or two now, maybe longer.
Maybe longer,
Um,
yeah.
um yeah, a month or two where it became a bit more concrete that all right, this is gonna go ahead. But yeah, everyone should wave goodbye to the league. I'll say that
Yeah.
because if they're 3 points clear now, right?
3 points clear, yeah.
And there's no, I guess Jesus is a recognized striker, but even he seems to have changed his position a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you haven't really got a recognized striker and you're 3 points clear. You lost Aguero,
Yeah.
and now you bought a 21-year-old killer
Yeah.
who, like in theory, if it depends how long Guardiola stays. If Guardiola stays until 2027 or so, you got 5 good years of him before he maybe decides to go somewhere else. So yeah, that's a big move. And then at the same time, minutes later, you see Bayern Munich are interested in Mane too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like
Okay.
Sky
Ooh, that's
Sports
interesting.
headline.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah. So it seems like I don't know what's gonna happen with that Liverpool front three. Obviously, Salah's still in the balance. If Mane goes, then we don't know what's gonna happen with that front three. Who are they gonna bring in? But yeah, if we're just speaking from a City standpoint, yeah, that's dangerous for everyone else. Everyone should be scared.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. To be fair, like, yeah, that Mane news is a bit mad. Bayern Munich, you could actually see him fitting in there. To be honest,
You can, you
yeah, he
can.
could fit in at Bayern Munich, and that's one thing that's gone under the radar because Salah's 1 year deal is that Mane's on the same thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
all of a sudden, I think Bayern Munich might be thinking we could get Mane cut price deal, maybe potentially.
yeah.
Think about that one about letting Mane go just like that. 'Cause you don't want to lose that squad depth. And
Nah,
Mane's
you
not just
don't.
squad depth; he's a star. So
Yeah.
big
I don't know
news.
what I don't know what they'll do to replace him, but I'm sure Klopp has someone in mind. If he does go. But just when you look at Diaz and how able Diaz is, and if they find another gem like that, they're great. Because Diaz, next year we're gonna have a real conversation about him. You can't have it. You can't have it yet
Can't
because
have it yet. No.
it's a bit too early. But I guess if they do end up winning like Champions League, and I guess they're still not really out of the title race. It's definitely advantage City, but if they're not out of the title race yet, if that happens, he's definitely a shoe in for signing of the season, and he only came in January.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd agree. I think he gave Liverpool a boost at a time when they needed it, just to
Mm-hmm.
spot when Mane and Salah were both at AFCON.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not just like obviously he's got decent stats, but it's just mainly about his performances. He's just been electric.
It's an
And yeah,
issue.
next season is when we have that real conversation about
Yeah,
him. And
definitely.
but yeah, Haaland to City is crazy because obviously you see them win 5-0 against Newcastle. Really should have beaten Madrid. They did score five. What did they score? Five goals in the two legs against Madrid, which is it should be
Yeah.
enough to go through. And
So
then you
would
had
you
Haaland, yeah,
make of the loss?
for against Madrid.
Mm.
Yeah, the loss against Madrid. You know what? I'll be honest. I can't blame Pep. I know
Yeah.
people have, but I just think you know that there was that time, Jeff, when players could be held accountable.
Yep.
And I
Hmm.
can't lie, I'm a player on that pitch. You've played on the pitch, obviously amateur level, whatever, don't matter, innit? But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if you are up 1-0, technically 2-0 in the 90th minute, and you lose, you can't be looking at your manager. I can't lie.
No.
There gotta be some
Like,
level of why when
accountability.
accountability, like Madrid scored.
Hmm.
How come within less than 40 seconds, Madrid are already whipping in a cross to go 2-1 up? You're supposed to be the best team at retaining the ball. You
Yeah.
can't find any better way at keeping the ball rather than just giving it straight back from kickoff. You had kickoff.
Yeah. You know what? Like as a manager, you can't coach nerves. You can
You
give them
can't.
all the advice in the world, but see, we're nervous that whole game. Like that
Yes,
whole
I
game.
agree. Yeah,
Like
I agree.
KDB was not his usual self. There's a few times where the normal KDB he probably will go and score. Like his final touch just wasn't quite there.
Yeah. It just
And
wasn't at
then
it.
he came off, and even I looked, I was like, KDB off. Like, really? Would you take off your captain, your star man? But I guess if it's not completely working out, this Pep, anyone can go in. Anyone can be taken off.
Yeah.
And Gundogan played a big part in the first goal. Like,
Yeah, he did.
it's his kind of like out ball that released whoever it was who gave it to
Bernardo
Mares.
Silva, yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of that substitution, that can't be viewed as his fault. Zinchenko one, I guess you could maybe say should Zinchenko come on, but then you're potentially bringing on Fernandinho to them right back and then Cancelo at left back when
Yeah.
it's a difficult time to come on. Like you're
Yeah.
36, you're cold, coming on with 15 minutes ago to stop this young boy who just wants to run past you all day.
Yeah, that's what he
So
wants. Yeah.
yeah, so I can't. Yeah, I can't blame Pep either. I guess the easiest thing to do because it just feeds into more the narrative that it's been 11 years since you won a Champions League.
Yeah. So
Um,
yes, and you've got his narrative and the fact that they've never won it, so it just adds just
mm,
fuel to the fire. But but they bounced
yeah,
back well, obviously 5-0 against Newcastle. Pretty routine victory. They were never really under any duress. I've seen though that Ruben Diaz,
Kyle
um,
Walker, John Stones.
Walker all out for the season. So
Hmm.
it might, and Ake's injured as well, so it might be a Fernandinho centre back thing for the next couple of games. So that
Yeah,
could potentially a backline of Cancelo, Fernandinho, Laporte, and Zinchenko. You're not exactly saying that's rock solid on paper.
no, you're not, and that's why that it's advantage City, but like that's why Liverpool, I guess, messing up. You saying my
Yeah,
boy?
What's going on?
Not much, bro. Just talking about City and their injuries at the moment. They got 3 injuries, even though they're 3 points clear. I guess injuries like Wolves is not an easy game. Like, even if Wolves' season seems to have dipped, like it's still not an easy place to go and go win. So same thing that happened to Liverpool could potentially happen to City. Like it's not impossible. Like it's definitely advantage City. Like, it's probably 70% in their hands, 75% in their hands, maybe 80. But
Yeah,
there's still that little
isn't it?
yeah, the door's ajar, man. Like Wolves probably aren't going to be there to, even though they're not playing for much, they're not going to be there to be pushed over. So
Nah.
it'll be a tough game
Is it Wolves' last home game of the season as well?
potentially.
Potentially, because you know there's that thing that I know players go on the beach, but usually last home game of the season, they like to turn up just to give the fans a nice send off. So
Yeah,
that could make the game harder for City on Wednesday, and then definitely that will make the game harder for them against West Ham at the weekend. Especially now,
that's
West Ham out of Europa League as well. So
Yeah, it's tough games. It's tough
it's not
games.
done and dusted yet. It's not done and dusted yet. But do you know what do you make of City, man? Like winning 5-0, and obviously Haaland City's just been confirmed just
Just
now.
been confirmed.
Yeah, just confirmed.
Okay. It must be around what, 75, 85 mil? What are we talking?
Nah. I
Nah.
was saying to Jeff, it's close to like 55, 60 million.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, man. I don't think. Obviously, he's obviously worth more than that, but with the contracts and play and everything, yeah, I guess they can get around it. Yeah, Man City, man. It was I thought they would win last Wednesday, man. I thought they had it in the bag, man. But I can't blame the players or Pep in terms of trying to see out a game, man. You look at us, man. Like we tried to bring Holding 20 minutes ago and part of the bus, and something it works for us. Do you get what I'm saying? But Real Madrid is just they're built like that. They've just got the fans, they've got the team, they're just built like that, man. You don't 5 minutes to go, and then you bring on everyone and you make it defensive, take off all the attackers, you take off Jesus, Sterling. I mean not Sterling, Jesus, Mahrez and De Bruyne. I can't really get onto Pep for that, man. I can't get onto him for that, man. I can't get onto City for that. It was unlucky for them. This was their year for me, man. I went to the bookie, slapped down all my cash. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was them. I thought it was them. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, sad, man. It was sad for them. Sad to see. And Real Madrid just had more fight. And you just see Benzema, even at half time, he was just smiling still. He was focused, but you can see him just like, when are we? It's only a matter of time.
We've been here before.
We've been here. Sorry, we've been here before. Well said. We've been here before, and yeah, it wasn't a shock, but it was a shock at the same time. Like I expected City to win, I expected to see it off, but they just kept coming. And I'm thinking, took off all the attackers, and then you think, yeah, you just don't see City taking it even into penalties and that. But look how they bounce back, man. You know this happens, man. The best of them, you just learn from that, and you come back strong, and you do the business over. Who did they play? They beat them 4-5-0. Sterling got the last goal. Who was it again? Newcastle, right? Newcastle, yeah. They done it with Newcastle. Yeah, I mean, there's better days for them, man. Pep would have been sacked by now if his job was just to win the Champions League. I mean, they've sacked people who've won the Premier League a number of times already. So Pep. They're not going to sack Pep just because he hasn't won the Champions League. I know that they want to win the Champions League. I know Pep would like to win the Champions League with this team, but yeah, man, I think all will be well, man. I don't know, man. I feel like they can go again, another 2 years, go again at it, man. But yeah, I think I see them winning the Prem. I see them winning both all their last games. I see Liverpool winning their last games as well. I feel like Spurs done them, and Spurs done them. That could be a beneficial point for Spurs as well in terms of this top 4 battle. So yeah, man, big up City, man, and yeah, I'm not surprised they signed Haaland. If you're saying it's come out now, that doesn't surprise me after losing. Do you get what I'm saying? So you make good moves.
Let me ask you, man, this then. Now that City have signed Haaland, apparently they're looking at a central midfielder as well. They were looking at Pogba. Apparently, as one of the candidates. Apparently, he said to them that he just wants to leave England. So it's looking like PSG, Juve, or Madrid for him. But do you think that with Haaland signing next year, the Premiers are almost guaranteed for them?
Yeah, for me, I can't see how it wouldn't be. Like they'll be the complete front runners. Like if you go bookies, it'll be like 1 to 12.
Yeah,
like, you ain't gonna make no money.
Nuts, yeah.
It's like if you haven't got a striker and you've already won or you're on the brink of winning the league,
yeah,
then if you go get a guy who could probably get 30, 35 goals in that kind of team, because all you gotta do is literally put the ball in the net. Like a lot of their goals are literally like the goalie's out the way, like there's a cross that comes in, it's like a low cross, and all you gotta do is tap it in. And you got one of the best in the business maybe at doing that. And he's 21. Yeah. Like it's kind of a no-brainer for them to be front runners. Like it's gonna be interesting to see what Liverpool do, especially if this Mane thing actually happens and he does leave, or if Salah leaves, then how they restructure, how quick they gel. But yeah, I will say it won't look good for Grealish if now that Haaland's coming, and then if they get a centre mid, he's running out of time to cement the spot.
Yeah, this is the thing though, like with Grealish, because he actually played decent yesterday. Also, he had a good
well.
game. He had a good game. But yeah, where does this start to cement? Because if Pep, I feel like Bernardo Silva and KDB are locked in to that midfield three. I feel like Rodri really should be. So I'm a bit surprised they're looking for a centre mid because I feel like Rodri's been brilliant at DM. But I feel like that midfield three is kind of set in stone. Haaland will walk into number 9 and he'll play every game. And then really you're fighting for 2 positions. I saw the news today about Sterling to Arsenal.
Keeps coming up.
I think that's got legs. My only thing is there's no way Arsenal are getting Jesus and Sterling from City. So who would you man pick out of them two?
Sterling. I'd pick Sterling.
Jesus, you know,
because the thing with like Jesus, I guess we need a number 9, but you could still go and get a number 9. Like,
yeah, you could.
It's not over just because you go and maybe potentially get Sterling. I would like to see, because I guess Martinelli plays all right from the left, but to me, he always looks like he has number 9 tendencies. He just needs to learn the position a bit more. Maybe he becomes the next in line at the second striker. We should still look for one. He shouldn't be the main man up front. Not yet.
Would you man say like take Sterling, put him left, and then put Martinelli up top, and then have I don't know, a striker or Nketiah as backup if Nketiah does sign a new contract? How do you man that? How does that sound? Or does the route of Gabriel Jesus up top and keeping our forward line in terms of Martinelli and Saka as it is now sound better? What do you think, Jalil?
I still want to bring in two defenders, 2 strikers, man. I feel like I mean, it just goes back to, I mean, how I see it. This is obviously I'm not no football specialist, and I just talk about it. But how I see the whole process of and the progress of Arsenal going, I see us bringing in 2 strikers and actually challenging for stuff. I don't think we can do that if we're just going to bring in wingers and stuff. I feel like we do need strikers, even though the game today, and when I say strikers, I mean someone who can play on the wing and up top. Someone like a Jesus, but someone better. But Jesus, I want to be upset about as a second striker. But we do need a bad boy, and the only issue now is we get top 4, we get them.
Yeah.
We don't get top 4. We just have to have a bidding war for someone who is up there. You know, I know there's that Portuguese fella. He plays in Portugal. Sorry,
Nunes.
Nunes. I know he's an option. You don't fancy him?
I don't know if I'll take him. You know, I don't feel like he suits Arsenal's style of play.
Yeah, I know, because now we've established a kind of style of play. We're coming back to our old days in terms of playing nice, fancy football. We just need finishers, bro. We just need someone who can put the ball away. And yeah, I mean, I know we're going to talk about it later, but just touching it quickly, I just feel like it's appalling that we couldn't get more than 2 goals off a 10-man's Leeds, and I know it's harder to score against them, but I know we'll come to that. But yeah, back to your question. I'd pick Sterling as well over Jesus, because Sterling just offers a bit more, and I also can see him playing off as a striker, man, just finishing them goals, man, just being the last man up top, man. I can't lie to you, bro, and then putting it back in the net. But one thing I want to talk about quickly is Pogba. I heard that Pogba just bought a house in Manchester, closer to City's place. By the way, someone leaked that. So he could be an option. I know he wants to leave, but he could be an option for City as well. And speaking about the 3, I think they got a cemented 3, but they always want to strengthen, right? And I heard about also going. He could also be leaving. I know Barcelona looking at him. I know we're looking at him. I don't think he will come to us though. I know he's got Dortmund's come back on and Bayern as well. So he
could go back.
He could go back. That's my point.
He's the one going back to Dortmund still. That's a shout. Because looking at Arsenal, it seems that Arsenal might get Tielemans.
That's got real legs.
That's got real legs. I can't lie. I'll take him.
Well, of course, Tielemans is a good player. Be a cut price too, because his contract ends next year.
So it'll be like £30 million for Tielemans. I think that's good business, man.
That's good business.
If we make Champions League and we're able to get Tielemans, he's still, like, even though he's been around for a while, he's still a young up and coming player. He's like 22, 23 now. I might be wrong.
I feel like he's might be 24,
Is
but
that young?
he's been around for a minute.
Maybe
But
I'm
he's
wrong.
25. He's 25. He's
25. So yeah,
Jeff, 25 though. That's
perfect.
start your prime, yeah.
That's perfect. So if he comes in and then I say Sterling's a veteran at this point. Sterling's 27 and been in the game 10 years. If Sterling actually wants to come to Arsenal, and that story's come out 3-4 times, so it seems like it maybe has some validity to it. If we can get those two, and I would like another striker, like since what was the guy's name? Half is his name, was it? I can't remember. Hadj, sorry.
Yeah.
So ever since he said Tony, that stuck in my head. It won't leave.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be mad at Tony at all.
I mean, if Arsenal were to get Tielemans, Sterling, Tony, and then bring Saliba back from Marseille on loan, that's a decent summer.
I say we want more.
I'd agree.
I'd agree. Looks like we're getting a left back. We're looking at one, that young Scottish boy. Looks like Elneny's getting a new deal, it seems like, for a year.
Fuck's sake, bro.
It's so low risk, I don't care at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Elneny's wages are not the highest, is it? So
yeah, I mean, it's not that. To be fair with Elneny, it's not that bad because he could be a backup, but I don't want him to. I don't want Mikel to think that he can start games like in the Champions League and stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? Like going back to what you said, John, about Saliba potentially coming back. I don't think we need to bring in a centre back if he comes back because Holden's a good back.
No, we don't.
Yeah, Holden's a good back, and then you have your battle between Gabriel White and Saliba fighting for the two places, and holding the back up. That's quite attractive to see as an Arsenal fan, to see that if that's what we're trying to build. Now, when it comes to bringing up to make this defense more solid, I would like to have a backup for left back and right back. I think Saliba and Tavares can kick rocks. There's just too many mistakes, and I don't know if we've got time to learn, especially if I'm saying next season we're challenging for something. There's something. If it's FA Cup, if it's Premier League, if it's Champions League, I don't believe I'm saying that before, innit? We have to be challenging. Like if it's something, we've got to be challenged for something. So all these things we've got to cut out. And midfield's kind of getting cemented there. Tielemans is a good touch. Gundogan comes in, that's a banging touch. Boy, that's a very experienced centre mid. I don't know how you want to play it. And then we bring in attackers, and then we're laughing. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Because once we have that, then you'll never see me saying, Spurs can finish above us, or we might not get this. You see me more enthusiastic because then I can see we've got a good style of play. We've got a philosophy. Everyone believes in Mikel. Everyone seems to be happy and jumping. Even the subs are jumping off the bed. They haven't had a game in about 5 fucking years. Do you know what I mean? And they're all gassed about Arsenal and shit. So that's telling you something, right? That there's something good going. So that's kind of where my head's at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely well said. And obviously, we're going to touch more on Arsenal when Rash comes on. But yeah, just touching on City, just rounding up. Yeah, comfortable win. Probably going to win the league, it looks like. And yeah, Haaland makes it a scary sight. So people, let us know, what do you think? If Haaland signs for City, do they win Champions League next year? I guess that's going to be the question. They got KD in the building, say, do not allow 2 former Chelsea managers to spoil the party. He's talking about Conte and Lampard spoil Arsenal's Champions League party. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? The Spurs game is the big one. Spurs game. That's a big game.
We draw, then we're in control, I guess, but we'll see.
Yeah, draw. I think, that's fine. Lose
after that. Who we got after that?
Newcastle away, and then Everton at home.
Scary games.
All tough games.
Yeah.
All tough games. So, and then, but Spurs after us have Burnley at home, which again, Burnley fighting for their lives. But then Norwich away, which, let's face it, that's just give them the 3 points now. So yeah, it's gonna go down to the wire for sure. But yeah, obviously touching on the Liverpool Spurs game, obviously that ended 1-1. Spurs played pretty well, I'd say, very dangerous on the break. Obviously, Liverpool pulled it back with Luis Diaz after Son gave Spurs the lead. Klopp was complaining afterwards, and by the way, people smashed the likes. Klopp was complaining afterwards about Spurs' tactics, being too defensive, etc. What did you guys what did you guys make of those comments from Klopp?
Spurs played a smart game. It's football. People are gonna part the bus. People are gonna waste time. Like, what you want to do? Like, we can't moan. You can't moan that you didn't get your way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, obviously,
it sounds like in that case, yeah.
no, yeah. But I'll say this: I thought Spurs should have won that game, bro. Like, Son, Kane, well, fire as usual, and even the midfield. Oh, can't pronounce this guy's name. Hoiberg,
Yeah.
Cardenberg, making me thirsty. Like, they all played well, man. Defense. What's that guy? That Argentinian guy at the back, man. He's a beast.
Oh,
man.
Romero.
God.
Yeah, he's cold. I can't lie. He's cold.
God.
He's cold. He's cold.
No nonsense. Well, that's what I always want to see. You know me? I like the beef. But no nonsense defending just clamps you, bro. It's what it's also like. You just got in the way. You just got in the way with me and the ball. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but so that's worrying, man. That they've got a good formation. They've converted Davis as well into a left centre back as well, and he's doing very well as well defensively. So it's very difficult. I guess to take away some negatives for Spurs is and also Singion got the assist. I don't know, man. I think he's a bit weak, man. I don't know, man. He could be unlucky. Yeah, I don't know. There was something for me that game where he kept giving the ball away. It kept coming from his side. I know he got the assist in that, but he just needs to be stronger. Liverpool just needed. Yeah, they flopped, man. They are out of the race now for me. 100%. Liverpool played well. They kept attacking, but as I said before, Conte, man, he's a world-class manager. He didn't part the bus, but he played the right game. And if Klopp wants to get upset about that, then yeah, I don't know. I can't believe I'm saying this about him. He's an idiot, but let's be real, because I rate him highly. But if you're gonna moan about a team defending against your top attacking team, come on, man, make it make sense, bro.
Yeah, he got a lot of backlash for it, to be fair.
It's silly.
And I think deservedly so. I feel like he kind of backtracked on his comments today, saying he's got mad respect for Conte, etc. So,
of course.
I don't know, he or the moment stuff, I guess, maybe on Saturday, if you give him better fair the doubt. But it's not unlike Klopp to make those type of comments. But yeah, Jeff, like, what did you make of the game? I didn't expect Spurs to do anything else. And I feel like their game plan actually carried out well, because what chances did Liverpool really create?
Not many. Like Salah and Mane were kind of just getting crowded out. The chances where Salah may get one-on-one, like Sessegnon will have support. I actually thought Sessegnon did well. Like,
Defensively, he did. Yeah.
Like Salah didn't really get a sniff. Like, and the chances where he, like, normally or earlier in the season where his touch would have been better, it wasn't as good. So when your touch isn't as good, you give people room to then nick the ball back, and that's what was happening a lot of the time. Spurs did well, man. Just soak up pressure and try and attack when you can. That's all you can do against Liverpool, because Liverpool are one of the best teams in the world, scrap the league. And that's why they're in the final. Yeah. So you can't come out guns blazing. I feel like these the more attractive managers, the modern managers who play the attractive football, they have this like thing where they don't like the other side, and you have to realize football is a rounded game. The same way some people might not like the Sam Allardyces of the world, we can't just like Guardiola and Klopp. Like, you have to appreciate the other side. Like, there's also managers who know how to work with their resources and shut you out. That's a part of football too.
Yeah,
like, it's not just passing triangles, great build up from the back. That's not just that's not football. There's two sides to it. So Conte's style is effective. Like, Chelsea was 3-6-1 basically, and it won a league. Juve, he won a league. Like, Spurs, this team was
the league.
Inter, I even forgot about them. Spurs 4 months ago, we were saying they were a lost cause, and they were going to struggle. Kane wasn't firing. It was only really Son. Defensively, they're all over the place. 4 months later, they've gone to Anfield and arguably could have won.
Yeah.
So that kind of speaks to how he's really good at making people buy into what he does. Like even if you don't like it, who cares? Like who cares if you like it or not? Like it's effective, and they're going to be dangerous next season, whether people want to hear it or not. Like they're going to be a difficult team to go and play against. So like Liverpool, yeah, it was just one of them games, man. Like they had a lot of the ball. It felt like, I don't even know what the possession ended up being, but it just felt like they had a lot of the ball, but it was kind of unproductive for the most part. Like only chance I remember is like Van Dijk hitting the bar.
Yeah.
Diaz had his moments where like causing havoc, running in field, took a few shots, but that was about it. Like Spurs actually kind of dealt with them quite well. It's probably the wrong game for you to not be as productive or as punishing as you normally are, but it's just a part of football, isn't it? Really, like sometimes you come up against those kind of games, and like whilst I said it, but like whilst City do have the complete advantage, like it's completely in their court now, there's still a chance it could happen to them.
Yep.
Like
all it takes is one game.
Yeah.
And we know that obviously Liverpool are playing Villa away tomorrow against Gerrard. So we know that Villa are going to throw that game. Maybe give Liverpool a few goals as well for goal difference.
I don't even know, because
unless Gerrard wants to prove a point,
I think it will be that, because I led this team for how many years? I've now gone to be a manager. There's all this talk that I might return to Liverpool one day. All right, let me give you a preview of what I'm about. Because the Villa, like whilst Villa made all the right signings, it's still been an indifferent season for them. Like it's been up, it's been down. They haven't gelled yet. Like you can still tell they still need a year together. So, but with the players they've got, they can still give anyone a problem. Like Coutinho didn't even play last game. I don't think he's really even played that well overall. And when you think about it, in terms of
not after the initial hype period.
Yeah, like when it calmed down, it's just all right. It's been all right. But all of those players with this kind of ability, like Buendia seems to be picking up again. Like they're not gonna, like Liverpool aren't gonna go there and walk that game either. Like they're gonna have to work for those 3 points.
And especially with the fact that Gerrard left Rangers and everyone's thinking, oh my days, like how can he leave Rangers? What are they gonna do? And then they go and make a Europa League final. Which for Rangers is a nuts achievement. Nuts achievement. Rash, what do you say, Rash? Welcome back, bro. What are you saying?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay. Good. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Alhamdulillah, it's great to be back. Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, man, great to have you back. We were just touching up, just quickly rounding off on Liverpool Spurs. Klopp's comment complaining about Spurs' tactics being too defensive, and that if he had players like Son and Kane, he'd never play like that. Essentially, what did you make of that? Did you have any issue with how Conte approached the game?
No, I think Conte is a brilliant strategist, and I think he's really good at doing whatever he does to get the results that he needs to get. There was some times in that game where Spurs could have actually taken the lead, so I think he's done well. I actually thought they were actually going to draw because of how he tends to set up against the big clubs and how well he's done against the big clubs. I don't think he'll be able to beat Liverpool, even though they had the opportunities to do so at some points. But I think, look, you got to do what you got to do when you know who you're facing. You got to take the measures that you have to. I mean, if you look at Arsenal as well, when they know they're playing a big team that has a high press, that are constantly on the attack, they know what they've got to do. They've got to get majority of people behind the ball. They'll have a five-man back line. They'll have 4-man in front of them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So you got to do what you got to do to get the results that you want to do, that you need to get. Spurs are in need to try and get a lot now to get into the top 4, so they can't be affording to drop more points than they can. And to get a point out of a game against Liverpool, I think that was pretty good for them. That's what you're going to get from me praising those guys.
Yeah, that's pretty good to be fair. But But what did you obviously, because Jeff just mentioned it when we went live, that Bayern Munich are looking to sign Mane, and it's apparently serious age left. He's only got 1 year left. Like, what would you do? Twofold the question. What would you do if you were Mane, and if you were Liverpool, and he says he wants to go? How much would you try to sell him for?
To me, Mane is gold. I think he's a top player. He's been one of Liverpool's outstanding players for many seasons now, and every season, I think maybe except bar last season, I think he had a bit of a setback, but every other season other than that, he's always performed. It's always been either the top scorer at Liverpool or in the runnings to be the top scorer, always getting assists, a pivotal player on the pitch. He makes things happen. You know what I mean? He finishes off the plays. Like, he's a top player. If I was asking, I mean, he isn't. I think he's actually what? How old is he? Is late? Is he in his late 20s?
About to turn 30.
Yeah. So, he's probably just getting over the peak of his powers, as some people like to say.
Yeah.
But he's shown that his ability is still there, and that he's very necessary as well in regards to getting the results for Liverpool. So he would be someone that I feel like maybe if they sold a couple seasons ago, they could have probably got something like maybe 120 million for a Mane or something like that. But I think just because he's going over the hurdle and he's probably looking for a big payout towards the end of his career now, if they was to sell, they're probably looking maybe like a 85, I reckon 80 million price tag on him. But if he runs out his contract, I just think he's going to get a really good deal for wherever he does go.
Yeah, I just can't see. I can't see Bayern Munich paying that type of money. But if they do want him, apparently Lewandowski might be going Barcelona. So Bayern Munich might be looking at it saying, "Can Mane play that false 9 role for us?"
I mean, I reckon in Germany he'd smash it to pieces. I mean, we've seen what happens when Prem players go over there, and even when they haven't made it yet as Prem players, what they do when they're over there, you know. And then to have someone who's battered it up in the Prem, do you know what I mean? To go over there, I mean, he's a household name. He's known all around the world. I reckon he would just destroy that league, and I think Munich, they know that as well. They're just gonna have to pay the peas for that because he's not gonna be firing blanks.
Nah, yeah, and I think if they sell Lewandowski to Barcelona, which looks like it could happen, then Mane would potentially be up there with the best players that they could get available, given that Haaland's gone to City. There's not really much better that you can get than Mane, and he will fit their system in terms of pressing from the front. So.
Yeah, and look, if we let's just say Liverpool do it and they do get the Champions League, I mean, I believe that if they do it, the goals will either come from him or he'll be part of the assists of the goals that do win the Champions League if they do that. And he's known in the Champions League now, and he brings out results. I don't think there's any reason why Liverpool couldn't demand a higher value on the price tag. Yeah,
unless he gives them indication that he would leave for free, which would be a shame for him to go out like that at Liverpool on a free transfer. You'd like to think he could come to some kind of compromise, but in football, I guess you just never know. But yeah, man. But listen, people, we're gonna move on now to the Arsenal game. Smash your likes. So yeah, Arsenal extending their lead in the top 4 race to 4 points, 2-1 win against Leeds. It looked to be very easy at the beginning. 2 Nketiah goals, first 15 minutes, I think. And then Leeds got the red card, Luke Ayling, and it looked like it was going to be 4 or 5. Arsenal couldn't get the third. Leeds just got a cheap goal from a corner, and then it made it a bit nervy, but Arsenal pulled it out. So, Gino, what did you make of the game? Were you impressed by Arsenal? And how are you feeling ahead of that North London derby on Thursday?
I think Rash should go first. You know, I can't lie, man. I miss his voice. Hey. I think I ain't got an issue with you going first, but I'll just elaborate from what you've got, man. So, tell us how you find it, man. Let's go.
To be honest, I've been impressed with Arsenal. You know what I mean? I've been impressed with how they've handled their defeats. I mean, they took three on the trot, and then they've come back. They've beat Chelsea, they've beat United, they've beat West Ham, and now they've beat Leeds. It's a great attitude, you know. I myself was even saying, yeah, it's done. It was good while it lasted. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Top four, we was overachieving if we had got that. So I guess we're gonna go back to where I originally think they may finish, which is fifth or sixth. That was what I was saying when we hit those that little hurdle in the road. But look, they've bounced back. They've shown great character, great attitude when on the pitch. It does show that Arteta, he is really good at being a tactician as well. Some of the teams that he fields, we think, okay, is that going to be suffice for the teams that we're playing? But it has been. I mean, we've seen the re-emergence of Xhaka. He's come back and he's playing better football. We've seen the re-emergence of my boy El Nene. He's doing his thing. Yes. What did you used to call him? Side pass, L sideways or something like that?
I
Yeah.
used to call him a sad man.
Yeah. El Sideman is doing his thing. Do you know what I mean? He's played himself into maybe getting
El
himself
Sideways.
an extension on his contract, you know. And Ketia, he's been screaming, look, give me a couple games in a row so I can prove myself. These getting 20 minutes here, 10 minutes here, and then being missing for a couple games, it's not helping, and there's no way that he can show what he's worth. So Arteta's doing that. He's showing what he's worth, and boy, is the boy showing what he's worth. You know what I mean? I think he's scored in every game that he's played in since then, probably bar one maybe. Like, he's really doing good. So against Leeds, I think they showed great tenacity from the get-go. You know, put a lot of pressure on them, you know, to get those two early goals as well. It had Leeds under pressure. They were passing to no one a lot of the times because of the pressure that Arsenal was putting onto them. After the red card, I thought it's a wrap. You know, I thought, okay, all we need to do is finish the job off now, kill this team. You know what I mean? Get that killer instinct that we've shown against what we showed against the United and against the Chelseas and stuff like that. We grinded it out a bit against West Ham, but I was expecting them to go on and do a bit more in regards to killing off the game. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen that way. We had lots of chances, lots of opportunities to do that, but I don't even know how we didn't get more goals, to be honest. But we didn't. We was constantly on attack. I mean, it showed that they had a more possession of the ball at one stage, but when you looked at all of Arsenal's possession, it was all in their half. And if you look at Leeds' possession, it was literally all in their half as well. So the stats kind of was showing that, okay, they may have had the possession, but it wasn't telling the full story at some point, you know. So yeah, I just think that intensity that Arsenal's showing is really good. They just need to be able to score, keep scoring, you know, and when they smell blood, you know, draw blood, they kill off the teams and let them know that they can't have any chances of coming back. Once they get that killer instinct in them, it's going to be dangerous. But I think that will be changing in the summer. If we do make Champions League, we'll have a lot of opportunity to sign players that will be able to do those sort of things, kill off teams, be able to finish chances all the time. We'll be able to get the type of midfielders that we need to keep teams pinned back as well. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Arsenal. I'm liking the vibe that I'm seeing at the Emirates from the fans as well. It's a shift in culture. It's what was needed. It gave Arteta the time to do what he's done, and he seemed to have made the changes that is necessary. And you know, you got to salute the guy for the progress that has been made. You know, we're not where we should be or where we want to be, should I say, rather, as an Arsenal Football Club, but there's progress, and that's one thing that you have to notice and you have to kind of salute. I was saying, does he deserve a new contract already, or should it be something that should have been done towards the end of the season rather than now, because we still don't know where we're going to finish? However, it shows great intent, and what it does, it shows stability as well for players that possibly want to come in and join Arsenal. That okay, there is a manager that has a plan, and he's going to be there for a couple of years. So it's not I don't have to worry about who's coming in and whether I have to play for my position again. the person who's going to be bringing me in is the person who's going to be managing me, and that shows good structure at the club, you know what I mean? And just waiting to see what happens at that toilet seat of a club, see if we can get the results that we need there. And if we do, I can honestly say I think it's a wrap for everything else. I think we've actually cemented top 4 if we beat Tottenham.
Yeah, if Arsenal beat Spurs, top 4's over. Top 4 is done and dusted.
Yeah.
But even with a draw 4 points, two games to go, it's a healthy position to be in. But what do you man make? Obviously, the result came off the back of, I think Arteta signed his new deal on the Friday, just before the game. There was like a mixed reaction to it in terms of the timing. What did you make of the timing of it, Jalil? Do you feel like they should have just waited 4 more games? Or do you feel like that was actually the right boost maybe the squad needed just to help them go over the line?
For the fans, it was the wrong time. For management and the club, it was the right time. I say that because of when you put a contract in play, and he's shy of, I think, 4 years, so he must have been here. I must have been at the club for maybe 3.5, maybe up to 3 years now, and there must have been a contract in play. I know him and Edu were speaking about a tenure when they first took over, and they said they're going to work as a team and change the culture of the club and bring in players and get rid of the deadwood and whatnot. With the contracts, having said that, I think a fan will be lying to say if he hasn't fulfilled the contract at this moment in time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I say that because getting rid of Deadwood, there was a lot of players that we didn't really want to see go. There were some players that we did want to see go, and they've left. And that's Deadwood in terms of the eyes of Edu and the club and that. But then when it comes to process, look, we finished 8th or 9th last season and the last couple of seasons. I know we won 8th. I know we won an FA Cup and then Charity Shield. That's not really that big, but Arteta's got that in his portfolio at the moment. But he was tasked to get us back into some sort of Europe. And if you look at it, realistically, if Spurs get top 4, we're going to get 5th. And that is pretty much him saying that his contract that he's going to get us there first. So, first of all, get rid of Deadwood, take over in terms of, making sure there's a fun environment, a good culture of the team where everyone can fight for each other and trust each other. And we're seeing that. We're seeing, as I said to you maybe 20 minutes ago into the show, there's when someone scores, Eddie scores, Lacazette scores, when anyone scores, everyone jumps off the bench. Someone ain't played for 5 years. It's all getting joyful. You ain't played, but you're not really part of the team, but you're still active for the club. That says a lot about the culture and the environment of the club. And we're going to be real. Mikel brought that in, and he's done it. He's set rules, and this is what I tolerate, and this is what I don't tolerate. If they thought, this guy's a small manager and he's going to come in and do all this and then set rules, I ain't going to play for you. But everyone seems to be playing for him who's at the club at the moment. I know we had Ozil, we had Aubameyang, and certain others as well. They're all gone now. Some of us we didn't want to see them go. We did want to see them go, but people had to shift for these things to move. So as I said at the beginning of this talk, I think it's the right decision for the club. It came at the wrong time for the fans because they're still will say, hold on, we ain't got top 4. We don't get top 4. We don't deserve it. But realistically, he wasn't tasked to get top 4 for being real. He was tasked to get us back into Europe, 5th or 6th. And if we get top 4, we've overachieved, which is not a bad thing. But we just need to bring in the right players, and that's kind of where we as fans should challenge. We should challenge him on next in terms of who they're bringing in. Mistakes have been made, Willian and some others, but who they're going to bring in now for us to challenge. And I said we should challenge for something next season.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I think for the club, probably was the right time. For the fans, you got both sides of the coin. So someone's going to be right, and they're perceived right at the end of the season. Obviously, things are fluid, so they can change next season. Who knows? Especially if Arsenal get Champions League football and sign some of the players that we're looking to sign, your likes of Jesus, Sterling, your Tielemans, etc. It's already much better names than we've been linked to over the past few years. When you think about it. So, Jeff, for you, if Arsenal were to miss out on Champions League, lose on Thursday, and then lose the top 4 spot, the likes of Sterling, Jesus, Stem, and Tielemans, do they still come, or do we then have to shift our focus to alternative signings?
I think you lose someone like a Sterling because you think he's got more options. think even a Tillemans who's probably still possible, he may still buy into like the project or whatnot.
Yeah,
But someone of like Sterling's stature, I don't think. I think that rumor just goes away. It would just be another Sun rumor.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Jesus possibly. That could be a possible because he may be after more regular football.
Yeah,
Because he could go to another top team, but it's going to be in the same position he's in now, where you're playing 30 games a season maybe, and 15, 18 of them are from the bench. So if you're in Arsenal, at least you're going to be a fixture majority of the time. And I guess Arteta that knows him well or whatnot. So that's probably what would happen. So I think we still get some of our targets, but the more coveted players, no. Like people
yeah.
like Sterling, nah, like, he wouldn't come there. You probably even just try his luck and stay at City, possibly.
He could. To be honest, I feel like with Sterling, he's kind of hit the point of his City career where he just feels like Haaland coming in and stuff. He might just think, you know what, I've done my time here, I've done my thing. It feels like they're shifting towards folders. Haaland, then man, let me go somewhere else and maybe be the man for a couple of years. Like maybe he needs to feel like being one at least one of the top 2 or 3 guys again in a team. So it'll be interesting to see again Sterling's price tag because again he's only got 1 year left in his deal, and again what's he worth now? 27
50.
years old? He's 27.
Yeah, probably 50, 55. Like, that's not his actual price, I don't think, but I think that's what it is with a year left. Like 50 mil.
Yeah.
If Jesus is 40 with like a year left or something like that, then there's no reason why. Yeah, Sterling will be like 50, 55.
Again, that's not bad for Sterling.
I think that's cheap for Sterling. That's very cheap for Sterling.
That's the market, isn't it?
That's great if you can get a serial winner and someone who's been in the Prem 10 years for 55 mil.
Yeah, that's a good price.
Could you see if Mbappe goes to Madrid, which I still think will happen? Could you see Sterling go to like a PSG? If he'd consider it.
I don't know.
I can't see it. I don't know why. I can't see it.
I can't see it, but that is one of the few teams that could probably get Sterling.
Could, but I think it's kind of it'll probably be him setting himself up for failure.
Yeah,
PSG already like it's an unsuccessful project. I'm just gonna say it. It is.
Yeah.
So if you sell your like the sensation, like or get rid of him, however you want to say it, and then you bring in Sterling, and Sterling's world class, no doubt to me, but he'll have a target on his back as soon as he gets there. Because if he has 1-2 bad games, it's going to be you're rubbish. You're going to boo him. Yeah, so I don't know if he would want to do that.
Yeah, it's true. But then we look at it. What is Sterling's market? Maybe PSG, maybe Barca?
Barcelona, I'd say.
Bayern
could be a market. Bayern could be.
Dortmund.
Nah, it's too big.
That's too low.
Too low. It's between. I'd say between. I think Barca could be a shout.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Barca will probably be the main shout. I think, and then I don't know. Maybe I don't know who's in Italy. Who's good? Not really as a AC Milan or kind of rebuilding, but again, that's not all that. Like Barca will probably be the top of that list.
Yeah. But yeah, if he can go out with a Premier League at City, I think that would be great way for him to bow out. But yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to speak about more on Wednesday, but that North London derby, what's our initial inkling? Will Arsenal win, lose, or draw? What's our guts saying? Who wants to go first?
It's a draw, man. It's a draw. I see a draw written over. I think both teams are going to play it Tuesday, and it's going to be a result of a 2-2. Us getting an early goal out of nowhere. Eddie just doing that, as a defender, if someone keeps running up like that at me, I'm going to have to want to fight him after the match personally, because he does not give you a minute to think. As soon as you get the ball to take that initial touch, he's on your case, which is Good headache to have for us and bad to have for them. And I feel like he can do that to someone, just skip past them. He's got pace and he can finish as dodgy as it looks. You get what I'm saying? So I say early goal, then they come back, and then we get a goal, and then they come back last minute. I see that happening. I don't want to say we're going to lose. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I see us winning at the same time. However, I said that against Chelsea, and look what we've done. And I said that we're going to win against, your Brightons, your Southamptons, and all that jazz. And you end up getting spanked. So football's a beautiful thing, man. You don't know what to expect, but you're guaranteed to have a entertaining day. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah.
So Jalil's gut saying draw for now, Jeff.
Probably agree and say draw. I don't know if it'll be in the same fashion he said it, like last minute goals, but I think it'll be like 1-1 or something. It's gonna be just a game of like high emotions. You might see a couple reds.
Yeah.
Because like see when Spurs played Chelsea, like it might be a similar kind of game.
Yeah.
We're kind of fighting for. We both need top 4. Like when you think about it, like we probably have we would have. I guess Arteta's target would have been more next year, but we're here now. So
we're here now. Yeah.
Like, we're right in the thick of it. So both teams need top 4 for reinvestment, all that kind of stuff. So they're gonna play like that, I think.
Yeah. And Rash, what are you saying?
One thing I do know is going to be entertaining. Because, like Jeff just said, both clubs need this. Like, they need it. Arsenal are there now. If they win, they can even take Chelsea's spot if Chelsea don't back up their ideas. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's a possibility, but what we've seen play out over the last few weeks is that window of opportunity is open as well now. We can't ignore it. It's there.
We're right there.
Yeah, it's right there. So, do you know what I'm trying to say? And but we also know that this is a be or end all game for Tottenham. I mean, we've had Tottenham fans and probably even Tottenham players say, "Yeah, Arsenal ran away from us, and that's why we got to play them now. That finally you're gonna come and get the beating you deserve." And so they got to live up to that now. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Couple man need to back their chat. So it's something where they're not going to want to lose. Arsenal never wants to lose to Tottenham. They've got the players to make it an end-to-end type of game. There will be, to me, I think there's going to be a lot of cards. Man, I can see some doing a dirty on us. Do you know what I mean? Kulachevsky, whatever his name is, he's kind of calmed down in the last few weeks, but he's still a good player that I can see really trying to come in. But the good thing is that Arsenal have seemed to have got their back line sorted again. I think White might be back by then as well.
He might,
touch and go.
Yeah, possibility. But I mean, there was even saying that Partey might be back in time for that game as well.
Yeah, so,
he's gonna play.
But I saw something. I saw him training, like light training and stuff like that, and then saying, "Hey, there's a possibility he might be back in time for the Spurs game." Saying me, I ain't seen him, I ain't spoken to the guy. I'm just hearing what I'm hearing through the grapevines. You know what I'm trying to say? But one thing I do know is that both teams are going to be going for it. I probably will say a draw as well, but I just think the lads can do it. They can do it. I think it's something that they can do. They've got the momentum behind them. They're showing the heart, the spirit as well. They haven't had the recent setbacks that Tottenham have had. Do you know what I mean? And they've got a slight winning mentality. They believe in themselves. They believe in themselves, you know what I mean? And that is going to be vital in a game against Tottenham because we know what Tottenham can do, especially against big clubs. North London derbies, they show up. But probably a draw. I'm hoping for the win. Though.
A win would be a real statement from Arsenal to get a win and secure it at their ground. That would be a fantastic statement. Then you can chill the last 2 games, relax, start planning for next season. But I'm like you guys. I do think it will end as a draw. But a win would be, especially for Arteta. Then I think a lot of people will have to shut up until
Yeah.
earliest halfway through next season. You have to then give him the start of next season to see what he's doing with the new signings. But yeah, people smash the likes. I need to head off now, but I'm gonna leave the man then with this one. Obviously, Jamie Carragher brought it up yesterday on Sky Sports with Micah Richards. He said that KDB is now Man City's greatest ever player. So I just wanted to throw that to the man and get each of their perspectives. He said he's better than Yaya Toure, David Silva, Aguero, Company, the greatest Man City player ever. He said he's a level above them all. So I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave a few man to debate that. I'll be tuning in as I'm walking to football. But yeah,
So
big,
you left us with a question. You left us with 3 lions. You throw one little deer into it for us
hey,
to
man, I
fight.
know you guys will. I know you guys will
Said
do it.
one
Justice.
little
I
deal.
know you guys will do it justice in it. But obviously,
All
big
right.
up everyone in the chat. Smash the likes. Obviously, I'll be back with the rest of the mandem on Wednesday. But yeah, have fun with that debate, lads. Take care.
So
Thanks
there,
for
my
dropping
guy.
that bombshell, bro.
Yeah. Peace, London. Peace.
Cool, man.
Who wants to take that one then? I ain't starting with that.
The one thing I want to say before we actually move on to that is that I in regards to the Arsenal Tottenham game, I don't think we want to leave it to go to Newcastle away and Everton and these teams like that who are Newcastle's on the way up and then Everton who are fighting for their position, who are actually doing well in the last 2 games as well. I don't want it to have to be left to those. So I think in regards to Arsenal's mind frame, they better just turn up on that game, because I think out of the next 3 games, that's probably the easiest out of the lot in a weird way. In a weird way. But yeah, into that question, what we're talking about.
I agree with you with that one actually, because Everton is, for me, is going to be the most difficult game, because when they're back, then they're going to throw everything at it. Newcastle, yeah, I think we can nick a 1-0, 2-1 from them. But yeah, I agree. I think we should go for it, but I'm very skeptical because I've got a point of contention against going all out and then not defending and then getting eaten alive and then just like, okay, cool, it's all done. But I think I'm with you. I think we should actually go for it. But I'll personally, I'll take a draw. I understand what you're saying, but I'll take a draw.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'll take a draw. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna try to play like counter attack, like same way like Eddie and I have been pressing the first 15 minutes of each game. If we nick a goal, we nick a goal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of, if we win, we can start our season a bit later, because 4th is still qualifying for Champions League. You're not in the Champions League yet. So 3rd, now that Chelsea keep slipping up, Chelsea are now in a fight with us for no reason. No reason. So like, if we can win this game, we wouldn't even be taking it easy in the last 2 games. We'll be going for those 2, because you'd want Chelsea to slip up so we can take 3rd.
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy, but it's possible. We're a point off them.
It's so crazy. It is so crazy that Arsenal are even up there. The air must be getting thin up there. Boys can't breathe.
Everyone's got a nosebleed being up that high in the table. Who's Chelsea got, boys? Do you guys know the last couple of games? I'm just.
Let's have a look.
I can't even think.
I'm just gonna try and Google it. That'll be good to know.
They got Leeds first up.
Okay, they're beating Leeds. Who's next?
I don't even know. Leeds are still fighting.
Yeah, Leeds are
going down. Leeds are going down, man. I've seen enough.
They're right there though. They're like 34, Burnley 34, Everton 35. These teams are gonna throw everything at these last few games.
Yeah. I want to take this time to shout out Watford. Adios. Unfollowing on every social media platform. Adios.
You're bad man.
We are here.
Smacked up all season.
Yep. Slapped up, and I heard they're getting some what's his name? Name sounds like failure or something like that. They're gonna get him as a manager. Jesus. What's his name? Young British lad, and apparently they've got plans now to stick with him. That's their plans now, to stick with a young British manager and to build upon that, you know what I mean, and change the way they've been doing what they've been doing. Chelsea's got Leicester as well next week Thursday.
They're beating them. They're beating them.
And let's see who they got after that.
Still
Chelsea.
gives me time as a way to think about this Man City question.
And then they got Watford last game of the season.
That's a no-brainer.
Chelsea for me is maintaining third. When you've got Arsenal on your back, you know you're going to win every single game. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean the hardest game is Leicester, and Leicester isn't really doing too well for themselves these days. So
they're not playing for anything. But I think the Leeds game, I don't think it's going to be that easy. Like even with 10 men, like that last 20 minutes, that was a bit unnerving. I'll say that. Like,
scary times, bro.
We defended like idiots for the last 20 minutes.
Go out to defend.
And the question for the City. I think Carragher's right. You know.
You think he's right?
I think he's right.
Why?
Because if you align City's success, KDB's been involved in majority of it.
It's true.
Pretty much all of it. So yeah, it's kind of like a direct correlation. It's probably been like a season where he's been injured, and you could say they didn't need him as much, but I think that's just City. Like, I don't think at points they don't need anybody. Like Aguero is one of their greatest players in modern seasons, and they didn't need him for the last season. So would I say maybe I'll say it's an argument for KDB to be the greatest player ever. It kind of comes down to preference. My favorite would be Yaya Toure. That's never going to change. But in terms of like greatest and directly correlating like their accolades with how well KDB's played, can't argue it, man. Like KDB's been fantastic since he arrived in the Prem. Like fantastic. And like he's like whilst Silva was like an energy, like Silva might not just directly get many assist goals every season. He was just a very aesthetically pleasing player, and he's kind of needed in that team. KDB's goals and assists, if you take them out, City probably don't win as much, especially in that. For example, that year where they won by 1 point. If I remember correctly, KDB was amazing the whole year.
Yeah, it was.
Things like that. So, yeah, I kind of agree with him. I'm not going to lie.
I'll say this because when it comes to stats, it actually suits KDB. And when you put stats on someone like Bruno, I'm sorry to for a minute, but I have to. It don't make sense. Like you just go, stats, and you're just like, what? But when you say, look at these stats for KDB, you can actually see that it amounts to something. It's not like it doesn't go to he's got a few here, but they didn't win. He actually drives the team, and as I said at the beginning of the show, it was a shock because if he stayed on for that Real Madrid game, then I think they potentially could have won. But I'm hearing he's still taking injections on his calves and stuff. Like he's still in a lot of pain. Apparently, he came off and he was in pain. So apparently he's still not fully fit. But I'm going to say this, just thinking over it and everything. I think KDB was better than David Silva. When it comes to my top three players for City, it is Yaya Toure, it is Aguero, and it was David Silva. But now, obviously, KDB's actually established himself. I'm ready for that debate to have it with those three. So KDB for me might be number one as well. But we need to have a serious debate about this. I think we need to have a serious debate. No, but I'm still going to stick with Aguero, Yaya, KDB, or David Silva, KDB. But KDB might push David Silva down for me. And I'm going to say that. Rash, I don't know.
I think.
I know.
Go on.
No. I'm saying I know. Actually, I know. There's some fucked up shit there, but I know.
I just don't think we can look past players like Niall Quinn. You know what I'm trying to say? Can't forget them big men there, bro. You know what I'm saying? You have to remember. You have to remember as well, man like King Cladsy, you get me? Legends at the club. Hey, you can't get past it. Hey, listen. These are true City players, mate. You know what I'm trying to say? But let's keeping it real. I mean, unfortunately, like if we got to go with what we've got to go with the players that are here in it, like the Agueros and the Yayas and the Silvers and the KDBs. Unfortunately, those legends like Quinn and King Cladzy, man, we have to just put them aside for a second. Yeah, respect to them. but
That was mad random. I can't lie, fam. That came out of nowhere, fam.
you can. I'm showing my age here, bruv. You get me?
I reckon Now Quinn though. Now Quinn was a bad boy.
He was a bad boy, man. Real fighter for City. But yeah, look, I think it's always gonna be a toss up between Yaya and KDB. I think it's always gonna be between those two. I think Aguero is cemented himself. Aguero has cemented himself in history for them as probably their best forward ever. You know what I'm trying to say? But when it comes to their best players of all time, it's like you're saying, the stats, it's just not stats. You can watch the game and you get the visuals as well. You see the guy's potential. You've seen his ability. You've seen what he does in a game and what he does for the team. You can't deny that he is. I mean, look, especially when he gets player of the season, like a couple years on the trot as well. You know what I mean? Even when he doesn't deserve it, he gets it, because it's just like, okay, if it's not him, then who can it be?
Facts.
And that's when you show. That's when you know your levels above the rest. Even when it looks tight, it's not even close. You are levels above the rest. So the only other player that I can see for City even contending for that is Yaya. Yaya also being my favorite player that's played for City as well. But I don't know if the Yaya thing is more of the leadership of Yaya and the way that he just took the game by the scruff, and how he just seemed unplayable at times because of his size and his power and what he brought to the game in that sort of attribute as well. And obviously he was quality as well. His tackles was amazing as well for such a big guy as well. And the fact that he could play multiple positions. So that's the only one that they can go head to head with. But KDB has got, I think, a couple more years on him as well. I think he could stay at the club. I reckon he could finish at the club as well. And if that is the case, then there's going to be no contest whatsoever. It's definitely going to be him. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He would have had more years under his belt. He would have had more titles under his belt. He would have definitely achieved more in ways of probably goals and assists and those things like that. It's it's a non-argument in reality when you think about it, when you're doing numbers and his ability to match it as well. I wouldn't say anyone would be stupid or even wrong to say that he is the best City player of all time. I wouldn't say I couldn't say they was wrong.
He's right there, man. Like, it's like, I guess there's 5 really. Like in modern, there's Company. Company would probably be, I guess we're talking about these direct in these positions, but Company will probably go down as City in this modern era as their pinnacle, like the top. But then KDB, Silva, Yaya, Aguero, you're not wrong for whoever you pick. There's arguments for all of them, I guess. But yeah, I kind of agree, man. Like KDB, like what, he's 30, 31. Like when you bring in Haaland, like De Bruyne's not going anywhere yet. City you're gonna be in the running again for the Champions League. They're gonna be in the mix. They're gonna make semi-finals at least, you would imagine. So I can't see. Yeah, for me personally, I think it is him. Like Yaya, I have my own bias. I just think Yaya is one of my favorite players. So
yeah, I think he's my favorite African player of all time as well. I think I've got him up there.
Yeah,
probably
right.
my favorite. Him, yeah.
Him and Eto'o and Weah, but
yeah,
I prefer Toure is more my era. Like I caught parts of Weah. Like Toure, I saw everything.
Yeah, and if it's not Toure, it's Eto'o, as you said. So yeah.
I mean, I was gonna ask who should be the 5th, because I was gonna say, okay, we established this 4. But I guess Jeff kind of answered my question there in terms of Company, in terms of who could you say in the last since they won a title, their first title, who could we establish? Because we're going to go in today's day and age, say the last 10 years, who could be 5th? And I think Company's a massive shout, man.
Yeah, he's a beast of a player for City. Beast.
He's a leader.
I don't think they don't win that first Premier League without him.
Facts.
And Even the one before when he left, because that was the year where it was 1 point in it. Again,
Yeah.
like those margins, if you don't have a company, you don't win it. If no disrespect, if you have a John Stones there, it's not the same effect. He's not an enigma like company, man. You don't win.
Well, Lescott.
Jesus.
Let's go. I don't know about Let's go. But Let's go had some good games though. But that's because of the partnership though. It's always down to the partnership, man. I'll say that.
Let's go was cool. He was a good player. Definitely a good player. But yeah, company's world class.
There's an argument between, because I saw this thing, I was watching a few channels and stuff, and there's an argument just for City, just stay on topic with this one. Do you think Diaz and Stones is a better partnership than Diaz and Laporte? That's gone out. Everyone's saying Diaz and Stones is better, and I never saw that. I thought it was always Diaz and Laporte. Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I still think Diaz and Laporte is better, personally.
I personally, sorry, go on, Jeff, carry on.
Yeah, no, you go. I wasn't really gonna say much. No, you go.
I was gonna say that I kind of think Diaz and Stones kind of brought down Diaz's ability a little bit. He started, like I just think he was more mistake prone, and he had his worst games in those partnerships. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's just what I think and what I remember from those games that they played together. Compared to him and Laporte, I think they're just more of a solid outfit, a great back line, and I think the keeper is more confident with those two in front of him as well.
Yeah, like Stones has got better. Don't get me wrong. Like Stones, 2 years ago, I was like, I'm done with this guy because like you're a prospect for this many years, and then you're still making the same errors you were making at Everton. But past year or two, he's shored up a bit. He's definitely a very good, dependable centre back. But Laporte and Diaz are still the better pair to me. I don't really have much to back it up, but
I think I'm in agreement with you because I've always said Laporte and Diaz and Laporte. But just from what City fans were saying, after they got knocked out, I guess they're probably angry and stuff, and they'll say anything when something goes wrong. Oh, you should have played. It's like us saying, "Oh, we should have played Xhaka," and we've hated them all season. Do you know what I mean? If we lose, so it must have been something like that. I think because they were like, "Oh, Stones would have played better and stuff," and I don't know how true that is, to be fair. But Diaz, even though Diaz made a mistake, he seems to be a club favourite at the moment, man.
He wasn't even fit. Like I think he was kind of doing him a favour playing in that game, and he was just kind of like, I need to play because he was out for 2-3 months. He played like 2-3 games, and then you're in the Real Madrid game, and now you're out again for the rest of the season. So you clearly weren't all the way fit.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But what kind of timing are we on, boys? What kind of timing are we on? Do we need to blow, or do we want one more topic quickly?
What's the next topic? Depends.
Yeah.
The topic is always going to go back down to Arsenal. That's what the topic is. Do you have time for it or not?
Yeah, what are we saying? What
is it about Arsenal?
I just want to know from you guys just quickly, based on the season, I just want to know how many players, forget needs to leave, but how many players needs to come into the club for us to actually challenge next season?
To challenge.
Challenge for what?
I'm going to say Premier League.
The Prem.
I'm going to say the Prem.
I don't think we're nowhere near. We ain't got the funds available to challenge for the Prem yet. That's what I'm going to say. So
you guys don't think, having established all of this, so someone's been tasked to do something for 3 years and they've accomplished it, not anything, but the majority of stuff, to get something implemented in, and forget pleasing the fans, but we can see there's some kind of playing style that's been put into play. Some players he's brought in has worked. If he gets the funds to bring in his actual players, who's to say that we can't do something next season? If there wasn't someone you can question, like a El Nene, Xhaka, someone at the back, someone up top, if there wasn't a player you can question, do you feel like we can challenge?
No, they still need time to build that cohesion as well, man. I don't think it's there yet at all. Compared to Liverpool and the City, like
this is. Oh, you can't see that. Arsenal are on 66 points. City are on 86. That's 6 wins and 2 draws away. No, it doesn't matter if we have 900 million to spend and we get Mbappe, Haaland, we bring back Franco Baresi, Nesta, Maldini, Schmeichel. No,
Yo, we might do it then still.
we
So
still won't do it.
Question: You said we were 6 wins and 2 draws away from City.
Yes.
The games we predicted to win, the Southamptons, the Brightons, and there's a few more that we can't. Beginning of the season, Brentford, for example. You don't see us. Actually, if we had the right mind frame, the right players, you don't see us winning those.
Bro, I'm not even gonna do this.
He's trying to get man set up, for the group chat. Getting
There's
slaughtered
no
in the
way.
group chats, bro. Like, what are you trying to do over here, bro?
We haven't even got top 4 yet, and we're talking about winning the league or strengthening to win the league.
I think we'll win a league. I think we'll win a league in 2 more years. I think 2 more years. Give it 2 more years.
Do you know what?
Yeah, because of,
Gotta love men like you, Julio. Gotta love men like you. But what I'm gonna say, and this is just a hypothetical question, and this is just out of curiosity, okay? What would you prefer? Yeah. Arsenal to do a mad thing if we was to make Champions League next season and somehow get their first Champions League win. And not win, I mean win the Champions League. Yeah.
Okay.
Or get the Premier League.
Champions League all day. We've won the Prem. I know we haven't done it at this stadium, and I know it's a new era. We've got good memories. We remember lifting the trophy. However, them Champions League nights, bro, there's nothing better than hearing that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go Champions League, man. It would be good to just have one. Yeah, one in my lifetime. So yeah.
Oh man, that's kind of tough. Because for me, I still go by the old rule, man. You should be the champions of your country before you win Champions League. It should coincide. So like winning it randomly is cool. Of course, like you'd love it. It's Champions League, but I'd want to have the Premier League first and then win the Champions League, because then you really are the champions. But yeah, I think we're a long way off both. Like,
yeah,
I think we're still 5 to 7 years off maybe winning the league.
So you see United doing something for us then?
Who said that?
What do you mean?
Put that there, because I expect United to be back challenging in 5 years. I expect us to be challenging before them. But this is just me throwing a question back at you boys. Do you see United potentially doing something before us?
No, I still think they got maybe 7 to 10 years. It's not just on the pitch that they need to fix. It's off the pitch.
I said that.
Like they need to figure out if they're a business or a football club. Like, because the owners at the moment are running it like a business, but they want it to be run like Fred Fletcher don't even have a real job.
I shout out to Ralph calling everything out every day.
That guy's got no time. He's like, you think this ship is burning alone? I'm bringing you all with me. And
it's like he wakes up every day pissed off with something like, no man, I've had enough of this guy. He just starts spitting.
Well, we didn't speak about that. They lost 4-0.
They lost. And that isn't even a loss. They got smoked
by Brighton and Hove and Albion. They could have lost 7-0 too.
They didn't even look at any point the better team in that game.
No, like this is where like Ronaldo's. He's been doing charity work the whole time. Like he really has, because I know he was getting stick. Do you see in what he has to work with? Like he doesn't even get chances. Like he has to, like his nous and world-class veteran ability gets him these chances. Like they give him passes like he's still 21. And they still think Ronaldo is going to run down the wing, give 4 step-overs, fly past everyone and score. It's like, bro, come on, man. Come on. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Giving a 37-year-old long passes.
Let's get on to them for a minute or two. I think they deserve a quick one. Still, United have been playing atrocious football for a little while now. Yeah, and they can no longer hide behind like fake results. You know what I mean? That they didn't deserve Ronaldo pulling it out of the bag out of nowhere and these things like that. They are playing the worst football they've ever played. I've never seen this type of United in my life with so many big names as well. I mean, they need to sort out things on the pitch, in the changing rooms. They need to sort out things in as a structure. Someone even said they need to kind of do an Arsenal as well and just restructure the whole thing. You know what I'm trying to say? Get a new backroom staff, good manager, good support from the owners and stuff like that. The right sort of players who are um, directors of football and in charge of transfers and these sort of things. They need to get the right sort of personnel on the pitch in the right positions and not stop throwing cash at it, thinking cash is going to be the thing to solve the issue. They need a full restructure, a full rebuild, and they need to give their new manager some time as well to do this as well. That is the main thing. Let the boy come in and try to execute the plans that he's got and give him the time to do so, because this instant gratification thing is not working for them right now. They are playing abysmal football. I'm talking like park football that raw Jeff and Jalil, top signings for them, man. There, if they walk into the team type of football, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it is horrible to watch. Lovely to watch for us, highly entertaining, and the after game bants is amazing.
Amazing.
Shout out to a couple of the man them. You get me? A couple of the man them. We can't. Well, man can't even mention United without them thinking that man's throwing rifles at them at the moment. It hurts that bad. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Hurts that bad. So yeah, shout out to them, man, who can't speak anymore. Right? You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is?
Wait. I'm not done. You know the man that when you're talking, they just have to put up the emojis. They can't even speak. They ain't got no words. The fake laughter in the background. You know what I mean?
Crying.
They're crying, hiding behind the mask of a smile. We know what you're doing. Yeah, cry me a river. Don't stop as well. I want to swim. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm feasting on the tears of these United men at the moment. But yeah, I'm just digging them, man, a little bit right now. Shout out, man, like Jamie. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what it is. But yeah, I just, yeah, man like Sticks. You know what it is. Man like Dunks. You know what it is. I'm just letting you guys know. You know what it is. So yeah. Digging it. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's funny because I don't want to have conversation with United fans anymore. I'm like you, bro. Like they start talking about life and stuff. I'm like, wow.
They start talking about life.
No, because do you know what the thing, Jay, is this here? Is that raw? Before we played them, there was a big shut up, you men are dead. You men are dead too. You're banter club, this, that, and the other. And I'm not saying that we weren't and that we aren't dead and we ain't where we need to be. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But you need to stop talking. And I even said, okay, do you know what? It's gonna come to when we play you, man. After that, I don't want to hear no chat. Yeah. If we lose, you're not gonna hear no chat from me. And if you man lose, I don't want to hear no chat. Like no chat. Yeah, I don't even hear man say, yeah, I agree with you, Rash. Shut up.
Don't talk.
What are you talking for? And I tell you, can't talk. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm glad Arsenal did what they did to them because they didn't just beat them, yeah. They slapped them up and laughed about it afterwards. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's what we needed to do. I can't hear United, man, bro. I can just hear tears, and it's lovely, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? I keep telling them. I'm telling the man them in the group chat. He needs to slide. Like, what do you mean slide? And I'm putting slide emojis. So this is slide for your team, bro. Like this is getting ridiculous. Go to your board and slide, bro. You better call them because this is getting ridiculous. But they're spoiled children. Do you get what I'm saying? They're spoiled, bro. Even if this new guy comes and they get all the best players, they've got no patience for restructure. They've got no patience. They're not like us. They're not like Liverpool who waited 30 years. They're not like City who come out the blue and decided winning stuff. They got no patience. They won so much Only their fans, no one else. They won so much, yeah. They ain't got no patience to wait. And that's their own fault, bro. They got all the glory. Fucking United. That's what I'm saying out here, fam. Because I ain't saying none of that, bro. None of that, bro. You need to go side. You need to go ride for your team, bro. Because all you guys are doing is moaning at the moment, yeah? While your team is just dying, bro. But anyway, bro, I don't want to go too in on them, bro.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what. Yeah.
Go slide for your team, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, listen, before we slow any more topics we want to discuss before we sign out, man.
No, I just want to kind of say well done to Everton for pulling it out of the bag recently. And commiserations, West Ham. You know what I mean? You got yourself to some good heights in Europe, but ultimately not there yet. But well done for even getting there. Yeah, Palace, man. I hope you guys pick it back up. Do you know what I mean? You're showing some glimmer of hope, good style of football and stuff like that. Took a few bad results, but let's hope that you guys can kick on now and get some more results in your favor as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Jeff, any last words?
Nah, I guess we'll be back Wednesday, innit? So we can talk more about North London Derby.
Trust me. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in today. We'll be back. Rash is back as well. So we got the team back as square. We should be hitting studios,
my boy.
Thank you very much, and Eid Mubarak to my Muslim brothers and sisters worldwide.
Come on, man, come on. And we should be in studio soon as well, guys. So watch out for us. We're gonna get some times in the diary. Try to do a live show in the studio. Now that Rash is back, now we're happy. We can't wait to touch and just give you some good content soon, man. And yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.
Salam.